This is your WLAK Daily News Roundup for Lake Air, 107.5 FM and 1260 AM in Amory.
Civic Media News. I'm Terry Bell. Here's what Wisconsin needs to know. Wisconsin voters are approving 2 new amendments to the state constitution after yesterday's primary. The first amendment will ban private grants to help local offices run their elections. The second will limit who should be allowed to serve as a poll worker. That means clerks can no longer ask for, accept, or use private money, and only election officials designated by law can work the polls. Donald Trump is the winner of the Republican presidential primary in Wisconsin. He also campaigned in Green Bay yesterday.
A vote for Trump is a vote to save Wisconsin, and it's a vote to save your country. This country is finished if we don't win this election.
President Biden won the Democratic primary. He campaigns in Madison on Monday. President Biden may be in trouble. More than 47,000 Wisconsin Democrats voted uninstructed in yesterday's primary. Anthony Chergosky teaches political science at UW-La Crosse. He tells Wisconsin Eye that critics of Biden's Gaza policy are sending a clear message.
Biden cannot take their support for granted. They might have enough numbers where if they sit out the 2024 general election, it could cost Biden the election in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin is one of a handful of states expected to decide the election. The worst should be over after a powerful storm dumped several inches of wet, heavy snow on much of Wisconsin yesterday and overnight. Snowy and windy weather is forecast to last into tomorrow. I'm Terry Bell, Civic Media News. Here's what you need to know closer to home.
For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly. The Lake Superior Violent Offender Task Force and other Northland law enforcement agencies have announced 8 people were indicted on drug charges. According to a press release, 7 individuals from Chicago and 1 from Duluth were charged with conspiracy to distribute fentanyl and meth. Law enforcement officials say over the course of their investigation, they recovered massive quantities of fentanyl and meth from the group, which is accused of conspiring to distribute the drugs throughout the Twin Ports area. Staff at a youth support service in Duluth walked out on the job last week over conflicts with the new owners. According to a Northern News Now report, Neighborhood Youth Services has been providing neighborhood kids with meals and services for nearly 30 years before the nonprofit that ran the service went bankrupt. The service was then absorbed by the Family Freedom Center in 2022. NYS employees accused the new owners of trying to run the service as a business and called for the center to release control of NYS. Following comments about Mayor Roger Reinhardt, quote, peeing in his Cheerios from billionaire Kathy Cargill, the Duluth area began the Cheerio Challenge to donate to food shelves in the area. About a week later, local nonprofits have announced that they've received more than 800 boxes of Cheerios through donations, as well as the impressive sum of $50,000 from local residents. Officials say they didn't expect the comments to lead to such grand donations, but they're thankful for the community's generosity. As opioid-related incidents begin to stack up in St. Louis County, officials are turning to a United States prosecutor. According to a Northern News Now report, St. Louis County suffered over 650 overdoses, with 61 people dying in 2023. The announcement was made as U.S. Attorney Andrew Luger announced the indictment of 8 people relating to a drug trafficking ring in Duluth. Officials say that Duluth is an easier target for distribution, as the drugs can be sold for more money and there's less violent competition. A Duluth Catholic priest has been reinstated after being acquitted on sexual abuse allegations. According to a Fox 21 report, Reverend William Graham was accused of sexually abusing a minor in 2016 and was put on administrative leave from his role as pastor at St. Michael's Catholic Church. An investigation conducted by the Vatican reportedly found insufficient evidence against him, and his name was removed from a list of credible claims. All ministry restrictions on him will be lifted, and he will return to St. Michael's. A cargo ship that got stuck at a Superior dock required an assist from another ship to get free. According to a Fox 21 report, a ship called the Burns Harbor found itself stuck at BNSF Railway Dock 5 in Superior after fueling up and loading its haul. Officials say the cause of the unusual traffic jam is still unknown, but it could be due to something like lower water levels, sediment buildup, or that the ship was just carrying too much weight. The ship unloaded some of its cargo onto another ship and was then able to depart. There's a new breakfast shop in Duluth that will likely look familiar to residents. According to a Fox 21 report, the Chili Billy's restaurant that resides in the mall has opened a second location on Woodland Avenue. The new location will also add breakfast foods to the menu, so customers can get a hearty meal to start the day and then return in the afternoon for some frozen yogurt. The original location in the mall will remain open, but that store will not be adding breakfast foods to their menu as well. An Almena man has entered a guilty plea after being charged with possession of child pornography. According to Barron County court records, 56-year-old Charles Lambert was accused of possessing hundreds of images of child pornography on his phone, depicting victims as young as 12 and 13 years old. He was arrested after authorities confirmed his phone number was the same as a phone number that had been given in a cyber tip. After entering the guilty plea, Lambert is now scheduled to be sentenced on July 9th. And that's what you need to know. For WLAK News, I'm James Kelly.
A win on opening day. Hi, I'm Mike Clemens with sports. The Brewers kicked off their home game season with a 3-2 win over the Minnesota Twins. There was a home run by Christian Yelich, good pitching, and new third baseman Oliver Dunn with a Sports Center top 10 catch that had him looking like Superman on Bally Sports.
Liner, caught by Dunn! Put a cape on him!
Couple of steps, a dive, and able to keep it in the glove. Big defense.
Oliver Dunn after the game.
We were playing down the line, and I knew that more than likely the ball was going to be at me or that way. So I think I was anticipating a little bit being that way because we were guarding the double. But it was one of those ones you just hope to react the right way when the play happens.
NBA, the Bucks lose another road game, this time to the Wizards, 117-113.
I don't know. I just think they outplayed us. Give them credit. I thought they were faster, quicker. I don't know if we took them light or not, to be honest. I just thought they outplayed us.
That's Bucks head coach Doc Rivers. With sports, I'm Mike Clemens.
On your entertainment beat, I'm Pete Schwaba. There will be very little community building on the set of the movie Community. Actor Joel McHale says he doubts Chevy Chase will be allowed on the set, and even if he was, he probably wouldn't be interested anyway. The New York Post reports McHale says Chase left the show during season 4 after the two were involved in a physical altercation. Chase reportedly didn't think the show was funny enough, to which the rest of the cast basically said, then leave. So he did. First, he tried to strangle Elmo on The View, and now he's facing jail time for helping someone stay hydrated in a voting line. Both of the aforementioned are TV crimes committed by Curb Your Enthusiasm creator Larry David. David totally committed to the gag by taking a Trump-style mugshot and getting Georgia politicians in on the gag. Elmo eventually dropped any criminal charge against David, but is pursuing a civil suit. If only acting desperate on a podcast made you a better actor. Tori Spelling informed her husband of 18 years and the father of her 5 children, Dean McDermott, that she is filing for divorce. Normally, that's not news because no one remembers Tori Spelling, which is why she decided to inform her husband of her intentions on her podcast while he was at work. Spelling even told her listeners, he's at work, you guys. This sucks. Spelling elaborated on the podcast, saying their relationship has never been the same since they had kids. Well, duh. Taylor Swift has been crowned Artist of the Year at the 12th Annual iHeartRadio Awards. Swift accepted the award that was voted on by fans in a pre-recorded speech where she teased there were some exciting things coming up. That's probably true, given that Swifties get excited when they see Taylor watching a game they know nothing about. Swift also won for Artist of the Year and Tour of the Year. Her new album, The Tortured Poets Department, drops April 18th. Kira Sedgwick told The View that the secret to keeping her marriage to Kevin Bacon fresh is that the two stay curious about each other. The couple met on the set of Lemon Sky in the 80s. The actress said part of staying curious is that you have to hide the fact that you've known each other for 35 years. So the best way to stay curious would be to divorce, live apart for 5 years, and then go on a date. Can you imagine how strong that would make your marriage? Sometimes it's hard for criminals to adjust to life on the outside after doing hard time. The New York Post reports that ex-con and actor Felicity Huffman is assimilating and has gotten a role on Criminal Minds. Huffman spent 11 days hard time for trying to get her half-wit kids into a good college by having someone else take their SATs. Several people were sentenced to jail time in what has become known as the Varsity Blues scandal, including actress Lori Loughlin, whose kids are also not too bright. For more showbiz fun, tune into Nightlight with me, Pete Schwaba, every night between 7 and 9 p.m. on the Civic Media Radio Network.
Cloudy and very windy today with scattered off and on light snow showers likely. Our high 38 with wind north gusting to between 40 and 45 here today. More light snow showers tonight, low of 31. Tomorrow, not as windy, mostly cloudy, 45. We'll get back to 50 by Friday. I'm meteorologist Sean Cable. Right now, it's 34.
That's your WLAK Daily News Roundup from Civic Media. Subscribe to this podcast on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you find your podcasts. Find more news at lakeair.radio.